have recently developed the STAAR End of Course preparation tutorials that all of our high school students will be able to access online 24 hours a day. Joining me today to tell us more about the EOC test prep courses is Angela Borzon, the strategist from the high school office, biology teacher Jessica Ross, and Chavez High School principal Renee Sanchez. So thank you all for joining me. Angela, please tell us a little bit more about the STAAR EOC Hub courses and how it's connected to our Power Up initiative.
Well, in HISD, learning is not limited to the school day or to the walls of a building anymore. And so we wanted to take advantage of that in helping students to prepare for the EOC exams. With Power Up, students can access tutorials anytime, anywhere. And similarly, teaching is not limited to a building or a classroom. And so teachers, through the Hub and through Power Up, can collaborate with other teachers at schools across the city. And that's been a big part of this project, is finding the best teachers in the city, getting them to work together and collaborate and come up with products for students that can help all students across HISD excel on the EOC exams regardless of what school they attend or when they're doing their practice, or if they have time in their school day, or if they're actually just doing it at home.
So it's really helping us to maximize the potentials there. Mm-hmm. Sounds great. So let's take a moment to just look at one of the video lessons.
Let's look at the three major phases of the cell cycle. The first is interphase, followed by mitosis, which is then followed by cytokinesis. Interphase is the longest phase of the cell cycle and is comprised of three parts. These parts are easy to remember because they make a little sandwich: G1, S, and G2. Let's look at each of those more closely now. G1 stands for gap 1. The way you can remember what happens during gap 1 is it starts with a G, and so does the word grow. This is when the cell is growing. After the cell grows, the S phase.
Now, Jessica, I understand that you've been working on creating the biology courses for about 6 months now. Can you tell us what that process looked like?
So the biology exam is very heavily weighted in vocabulary. So if you don't have good vocabulary building skills, it's a very difficult exam. So we work together with the student to watch the little videos and then practice using their little vocabulary decks, and then also taking practice assessments to identify areas for further enrichment.
And so the students are using those in classrooms at home, or?
They use them at home, and then ideally, we'd like to be able to facilitate that in the classrooms as well then, to come back with extra questions to get further help.
So those vocabulary decks and could also be used as teaching tools.
Exactly.
And implemented in the classroom. Yes. So tell us what the process looks like in creating those videos, how long it takes, and how the biology in particular would differ from some of the other courses.
Okay. Biology is very vocabulary and content heavy, so you can't really pick and choose specific areas to focus on. We do focus in these videos a little bit more on the more frequently tested subjects. It's a series of about 18 videos, well, 18 units. Each of them is about 10 to 15 minutes long to make sure that it's the attention span of, a high school student. And they're super engaging. I have the students write down things in the process and then also encourage them to practice further with the resource folder. And gathering the resources, writing the scripts takes about 8 hours per unit, and then filming is about 7 hours, and then the assessments and Quizlets are also being built as well.
Oh, okay. And you've been working on this for about 6 months, you said?
Since November.
And when do you expect to be completely through the 18 units?
I'm excited to say that we have 2 units left, and they're short, and we're hoping to film them right after spring break.
Great, thank you. Now, tell us how the students are able to access these.
The videos are stored on the Hub, and the Quizlets are also, or links to the Quizlets are also on the Hub, so that they have their vocabulary deck to study. And then the assessments are also through the Hub. And the assessments are so that the student is using them as a learning tool as well as an assessment tool. Each assessment has a question bank that also has answer choices that are responsive. So if a student chose A and it's not the correct answer, it gives them an explanation as to why and what they need to study.
And do teachers have access to see what the students are doing, how long they're spending on those, and use that as a benchmark for what they're doing?
Yes.
Okay, good. So Renee, would you tell us then how families can get involved and support their students in this area and the student effort to maximize how the student is using this at home?
So what's great about the hub courses is that it's actually on the student's schedule. So they are automatically enrolled in this class. So when they go to their access on the hub, they should be able to access it directly from that class. So if they can see it at school, they can see it at home. If they don't have internet at home, they can download some of the things while they are on campus and then use that to study at home, and we'll still be able to monitor whether or not they're using it because they're downloading it, which is great. And so if parents have any questions, ideally they call the campuses and whoever's responsible on the campus, whether it's the principal, one of the administrators, or even the teacher who's assigned to that particular class, they can help monitor and answer any questions that the parents have.
So the teachers obviously have access to see what the students are doing and how they're using the tool as well.
Yes, what's great about that is that the teachers, while they can't actually use it, they shouldn't use it during the class period per se, what they can do is they can actually assign the students to look at stuff that they're teaching that day at home, if possible, so that way maybe they didn't quite get it during the school day, they can take home and use it as a flipped classroom, you know, tying to the Power Up aspect of the hub, and then they can watch it over and over and over again. They can even have a list of questions ready to go for the teacher the next day to make sure that they're receiving that, you know, that particular learning.
So thank you all for your work around this and the effort that it takes to put in this, and especially the work that you've done, because I know it is time intensive. And thank you for taking the time to be with us here today to share with us what this means for our students and how it's going to be impactful for them. Appreciate it.
Thank you.